It's 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. I'm Derek Gilbert with 5 things you need to know for this Thursday, September 5th, 2024. Item number 5 today, car rationing. Not gasoline rationing, but actual petrol burning car rationing. This is apparently the goal of the new, or one of the consequences of the new Labour government in the United Kingdom, which is very serious about reaching net zero, meaning no carbon emissions by vehicles on the road. Car makers across the UK are rationing sales of internal combustion engine vehicles, sales of petrol and hybrid vehicles. This is according to one of the country's biggest dealership chains. They're restricting the supply of petrol cars and hybrids, which is what the demand is for. Manufacturers trying to avoid fines for not meeting the government targets. The zero-emission vehicle mandate demands that 22% of all vehicles sold in the UK this year be electric, and that percentage will increase every year until it reaches 80% by the year 2030. This is absolutely ridiculous. People want internal combustion engines. The government is saying, sorry, you can't have it. So to avoid paying punitive damages to the government, they're rationing how many hybrids and petrol cars are being sent to dealerships. You order a car with an internal combustion engine now, you might not get it until 2025. I predict that by 2035, unless these mandates are reversed, the United Kingdom is going to look like Cuba. A lot of really old internal combustion engine vehicles running on the roads, being kept running by any means necessary. In other words, if you're looking for a career in the United Kingdom, it might be a good time to study auto mechanics, because they're going to need you soon. Topic number 4, debate desperation. Interesting request from the Kamala Harris presidential campaign for the debate coming up next Tuesday. Everything the Democrats have done this election cycle driven by panic, from pushing the sitting president out of the race, installing a replacement who no one has voted for, keeping her away from the press for the first 40 days of her candidacy, which resulted in an inordinate, unusual amount of attention to the one interview she has given, CNN's interview last week, Thursday, which did not go as well as her handlers had hoped. 41 minutes of interview, edited down to 18 minutes, meaning what we saw was the best she had to offer. And it revealed that she's got the intellectual power of a high school freshman who didn't read the homework assignment, frankly. Well, Democrats are panicking again, and they're come up with a long list of demands, which is a little different from the list that they come up with for Joe Biden's debate with Donald Trump. For the Biden-Trump debate, they wanted muted microphones. That was the most important demand, because they did not want Donald Trump to be able to interrupt Joe Biden and throw President Biden off his train of thought. Okay, they got the request. So Biden was left to his own devices, and he immediately imploded on the debate stage. Well, after watching Harris very nearly do the same thing in a friendly environment on CNN, they've now reversed that demand, and they're insisting that the microphones be left open during the debate. Why? Well, they want Trump to interrupt Kamala Harris, giving her an opportunity to do what she did to Mike Pence during the vice presidential debate back in 2020. I'm speaking, giving her an opportunity to make Trump look like he's being rude, condescending, and misogynist. Well, the Trump team is saying, no, we agreed to these rules that you insisted on. What's really hilarious here is the Harris campaign is making it sound like Trump is afraid to allow the microphones to be open. Are you kidding? Trump has sat for nearly 36 interviews since Harris became the nominee. In other words, almost one per day. And some of these are long-form, 1-hour interviews. Harris has done one carefully edited interview for 18 minutes. Anyone who thinks Trump is afraid to engage Kamala Harris in a one-on-one debate is really biased or just not paying attention. I think the Trump team should just say, forget it. We agreed to the rules. Either go by it or back out, because if she backs out, she'll look like even more of an intellectual lightweight than she already does. Topic number 3, walls of China. Not the Great Wall of China. I'm talking Tim Walz of China. You may not have heard this because the media is not paying much attention to it, but the fact is Tim Walz appears to be very, very friendly to China. In fact, the Pentagon refusing to answer questions from Congress regarding Governor Tim Walz frequent travel to China, and this is raising some concern about potential risks to U.S. military members and whether Walz properly disclosed his travel during his time in the Army National Guard. And normally, when you're in the U.S. military, especially if you've got a security clearance, you're required to report or request permission before traveling to a country that's seen as adversarial to the United States, like China. Now, Walz has traveled to China about 30 times. He stated this publicly, many of these trips occurring while he was a member of the Army National Guard. But it remains unclear if Walz consistently reported his travel to China to command, whether he sought proper permission or whether he possessed a security clearance during those trips. Walz's repeated travel to China and the support he received from the Chinese authorities, he took student groups over there, which had to be coordinated not just with the government of China, but specifically with the approval of China's Ministry of State Security, which is China's secret police. We also note that Walz, interestingly, got married on the anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre, kind of an odd date to choose. And then he and his wife honeymooned in China. Again, kind of an odd place. Now look, it's maybe nothing, but analysts argue that Walz's frequent trips and their funding could have made him a target for Chinese intelligence recruitment, what people call what's known as elite capture. You get members in positions of responsibility or authority inside the United States and draw them over to your side and learn a lot of very valuable information. In fact, we're not going to talk about this today, but we note that a former senior member of New York Governor Kathy Hochul's staff has now been arrested and charged with spying for China. Elite capture. Topic number 2, nothing divine at Yale Divinity. This is probably not what Elihu Yale had in mind. Yale's Divinity School, with an orientation for new students for the 2024 school year, 24-25 school year, had new students read from a spell written by a self-described witch as part of its Before the Fall orientation. This 3-day orientation, August 21st through 23rd, saw a series of talks and activities preparing incoming students for the year ahead, interspersed with small group discussions, get students used to what they can expect in the coming school year. And as part of this, students were led to read aloud, line by line and one by one, from the Radical Gratitude spell by Adrienne Brown. Now, Brown calls herself a witch, and her spiritual inclinations were not disclosed to students before participating in the reading. As such, the group read the spell. Students not warned ahead of time, they were not able to fully consent to this pseudo-ritual knowingly. One of the students who wanted to remain anonymous called it bizarre and gross, especially because they were not made aware of the author or the spell before they were put into this situation where they were expected to participate. Apparently, it's a well-known fact among more conservative and Christian circles at Yale that there is very little divine in the holy sense, in terms of from a Christian perspective. Under the name of inclusion, apparently acts of pagan spirituality are now being normalized in educational spaces like Yale Divinity. Of course, Yale University has been the home of Skull and Bones secret society since 1832, so maybe this is not unexpected. Coming up, memes of terror. That's next on 5 and 10.
We want to make sure you know how you can get your copy of this incredible new work in the Carl Gallops Ultra Collection. When you order this amazing collection from the skywatchtvstore.com, you'll receive the brand new book, Eyes to See, Is Our World Ready for the Coming Visitation by the legendary Pastor Carl Gallops, where for the first time ever, you'll discover what the Israel link truly is and the gravitous prophetic significance it holds in the times we're living in right now. You will learn about the real-life supernatural encounter that will open your eyes to see the spiritual realm like never before. Eyes to see will make certain you are spiritually ready for the coming visitation. And it uncovers massive treasures of astonishing insight previously hidden in Scripture and revealed specifically for our day. You'll also receive the amazing books The Summoning, Preparing for the Coming Days of Noah, and Glimpses of Glory by Pastor Carl Gallos that take you from the Garden of Eden to Jesus' glorious return, and a cosmic collision of biblical truth that explodes to life upon the tapestry of the mind and soul. For a very limited time while supplies last, you'll also receive The Summoning Companion DVD. Join Pastor Carl Gallos for this incredible, exclusive two-part sermon. From living without fear in the midst of our prophetic age, to the questions surrounding what Jesus is telling his people through the prophecy of the fig tree and the return of Israel. This companion DVD is a must-have. These items hold a retail value of $85. Yours now for your donation of only $40, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. So don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Carl Gallos Ultra Collection.
Item number 1 today. Apparently repeating memes can get you into serious trouble. And I'm not talking about, pro-Trump memes. I'm just goofy internet memes. A 6th grader in Texas found this out the hard way. Quoting a rapper can get you busted. 11-year-old boy named Indicus Kunaloic Young of Colorado City, Texas, said at school one day, "My main goal is to blow up." Now, that's not the full sentence he was trying to quote. His friends knew what he meant, basically saying, "I want to be famous. I want to blow up the internet." He was quoting a rapper named Riff Raff, this being Mr. Raff on the screen behind me here. Let's just take a moment and admire those teeth, shall we? Wow. Well, anyway, the teacher didn't let the young man finish the phrase. The rapper actually said, "My main goal is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody." Now, teacher thought the young boy meant he was going to blow up the school. And so she contacted the school principal. School principal contacted the school administration. Young boy was suspended, and then police came to his home and arrested him for being a terrorist. Let's hope the judge is a little more with it than the school administrators. Carl Gallos is our guest this week on Skywatch TV. He is talking about his brand new book, Eyes to See, which, like all of Carl's books, is, well, it's mind-blowing, quite frankly. He begins to explain this week that we may be in the middle of the great delusion, that one that's so powerful that it may deceive even the elect if it were possible. You can watch the program right now at our website, skywatchtv.com. Over the air, our broadcast schedule, skywatchtv.com/channels. Now, you can also catch it on Roku or Apple TV if you have the Skywatch TV channel installed on your set-top box. Over the internet, you'll find it at YouTube at Skywatch Television, rumble.com/skywatchtv, or download our free mobile app. This bypasses the gatekeepers of big tech, brings the content right into your smartphone or tablet, whether it's iOS, Android, or Amazon Kindle Fire phone or tablet. And we have links to all of those app stores at our website, skywatchtv.com/app. You'll find 5 in 10 at YouTube at 5 in 10 and on X, formerly Twitter, at 5_in_10. Please subscribe, share that with your friends, and thank you for watching. As we keep watch, I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. You should have put your stuff on Do Not Disturb.